SpectreVision Radio.
So he really revolutionized the sex industry. And I was like, wow, a black man did that. He toured with that, babe. Did you know about this fact?
Absolutely the fuck not.
You did? As a strap queen, you didn't know about
As a fucking strapper.
You didn't know your history?
I did not know my history. And, you know, today, black men win for me today.
Ain't nobody bending me over. Oh, so you doing the bending?
Hey, babes. Welcome. E cabo aquaba, bienvenido, sac passe, wagwan, nanga def. What's up, yo? Welcome to A Little Juju podcast. The final of the season.
Time is slipping away from me, yeah.
Not of life, although that's some soon, child. The final episode of this season. I'm so excited to see y'all. My name is Juju Bay. I am author of the Book of Juju, Osun Priestess, Oreoluwa, yeah, Osun, and of course your favorite big cousin conjurer, y'all. We have made it to the end of A Little Juju podcast season 4. And what a fun time we've had together. We have laughed. I was going to say we have cried. I don't think I cried on this season. Okay, we ain't cried. People got cussed out. I got cussed out. I got called a bald-headed hoe. Like, all these things happened within this season, and it was so good. I had so much fun filming with my friends. Like, that has been the best part of this, like working with my freaking friends and just doing this thing and having y'all come every single week to support me, to listen. Y'all talking about Wednesday like a holiday for you. Like, I see all of y'all comments. I appreciate you so much. And I'm excited to have this episode, this finale episode. We're going to do our normal segments, but I am going to have a special guest with me. But before we get into that, I have to tell y'all a very important announcement. So, just like last year when I did my Hoodoo course, I have brought my Hoodoo course back this year for cohort 2. That's right, in April we will be dropping Hoodoo with Juju, a 4-week course talking about Black American conjure, Hoodoo, spirituality. We're getting into the historical aspects. We're getting into the conjuration and revolution. Like, you know me, I'm a researcher. So I really love teaching, and I hope that you all will join me on Crowdcast April 1st through 22nd every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9:30. So yes, 2-hour classes. We've been taking breaks, y'all. I'm serious. It's giving lecture. We had so much fun last year, so I'm bringing it back. And because you are a listener of A Little Juju podcast, you get a special discount code of $50 off using the code ALJ. So when you go to checkout, make sure that you put in the code ALJ. It only lasts for 2 weeks, so hurry up now. There's limited slots. But I really hope to see y'all in Hoodoo with Juju. And before you ask, you shouldn't have to ask. You gotta be black, child. You gotta be black. I ain't getting too deep into the stipulations, but you just gotta identify as Negro. If that's you, I'll see you in Hoodoo with Juju. So, I told y'all we have a special guest today. I'm very excited to intro this person. You know, I've mentioned her a few times in the podcast. You know, I'll be talking about her. If you follow me on socials, of course, you know that I am in a relationship because I'll be talking about my girlfriend. And I was like, I should invite her on the episode. It's the finale. Like, we vibing. Y'all should meet my boo because I talk about her so much, so she should be here. And she's going to be my guest host for today. So Shan, yes, we've been in a relationship for like 4 years now, but that's my baby. This is my boo. This is a artist extraordinaire, image maker, film maker, film critic, bad bitch, like, this my stink. So I'm very excited to introduce my partner, Shan, today. Welcome, Shan! Clap it up. Woo! Hi, Stink!
Hi.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I am a fan.
What you a fan of?
I'm a fan of Juju Bay.
Screaming.
Extraordinaire. All of the things Juju Bay. The commentary, the jokes, the kikiing, the Baltimore accent that think that you don't have, but that
I
you
don't.
do have, but we'll get there. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
She was acting all shy and stuff. Well, she acting all shy. Like when I first told her that I wanted to invite her on the show, she was like, "Oh, really, me?" Acting all skittish.
I am shy.
I don't know what to say.
I am shy.
You are kind of shy, but you're really not that shy.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, she's a little She normally behind the camera. I got her in front of the camera.
This is not my. I'm behind. I'm like in the background, like, yeah, Juju, you go, you rock, get it, girl. Not here asking questions, talking to y'all. It's a lot of pressure.
It's no pressure. The bays, we chill.
Shout out to the bays. Y'all been holding my bay down.
Oh! Shout out to everybody. I had fun.
I gotta be good.
Thank you very much.
Shout out to the bays. All right, babe. Okay, let's get this out of the way. I've talked about my hall pass on this show multiple times, and someone random, and we all know it's Trevor Noah, but somebody on TikTok randomly under a video that had nothing to do with a hall pass, I feel like I was talking about spirituality. She was like, "Hey, can you tell us who your partner's hall pass is?" So clearly they want to know, who is your hall pass?
Is it just one hall pass?
Yeah, this ain't passes. One pass.
My hall pass is Kerry Washington. Love her down. Absolutely. Today, tomorrow, next week, during Scandal, doing Save the Last Dance. That's when I fell in love with Kerry Washington, Save the Last Dance. So my hall pass is Kerry Washington.
I'm not mad at that. It's just a little random, but I'm not mad at that.
I gotta back up. I'm not gonna this is not the podcast for that. I'm not gonna say it.
Who's your backup?
No.
Why? Who's the backup? Tiana Taylor?
Honestly, Jada Pinkett.
Okay. You know, a Baltimore legend.
A Baltimore
bad bitch legend.
A legend. She's vibes.
Okay.
I'm into it.
Kerry, okay. The older, okay. Not bad, babe. Okay, let's get into our first topic. Topic 1, we're going to get into Ogun's internet. This is the segment where I talk about what is going on the Orisha of Technology's interwebs. What we talking about? What do I see online in my commentary? So, today's first Ogun's internet is actually about Black History Month that just ended. Well, how was your Black History Month?
Honestly, one thing, I am bringing back Negro History Month. It just works for me.
Negro History Month. Okay, why is that?
It just works for me. It's very specific to who can celebrate, who should be celebrating, what we're celebrating. And if you a Negro, this is for you.
Any Negro.
Any Negro.
Okay.
Black History Month is cool. It's just cold. And that's anti-Black, this kind of weather.
I would agree.
So
it was a cold Black History Month, but we some cold niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Your shit bling bling, my shit bling blow.
Sure. Okay, so first in Ogun's internet, I saw this online on TikTok actually. I wanted to share a Black History fact with you. And I got this from the page Supernova, but I think that this person's page is all about strap-on history. Like her whole vibe on TikTok is just about strap-on history. I didn't know that there was that much things to say about strap-on history,
There's
but
a
apparently
lot to say.
Clearly. So I appreciated what she said. So I want to uplift today Gosnell Duncan. So Gosnell Duncan is described as an attractive ladies' man, and he was a really talented dancer. But in 1965, while he was welding the back of a truck, a car fell on top of him, and it left him paralyzed completely from the waist down. So this event obviously changed the course of his life. He could no longer obtain a... Can I say erection? Probably. He could no longer attain an erection, and it caused him, obviously a lot of stress, especially because he was a ladies' man. So he kind of became active in the disability justice, disability rights movement in like the late 60s. And that's when he realized that he was not alone, and that a lot of people who were paralyzed or who had trouble gaining erection were kind of, struggling. Like, what can we do? We can't lock in like how we used to lock in. So other people who had disabilities who were struggling with their sexual urges, they got together and essentially by the 1970s, dildos were created already, but they weren't like the ones that we have now. I believe that they were made with rubber at the time. And so that was kind of tricky. Sometimes they would melt. Like, rubber is not the best material for a dildo. So because of those materials, he basically got in the lab and was like, maybe we need to use silicone. Let me make some shapes with the silicone. Also, I didn't say that he comes from Caribbean heritage. So this is a black man. I hope that we got that clear. Like, this is a black man. And so his toys were revolutionary in the strap world, the strap history, because they were silicone. And he also coordinated with a woman. I don't think I have her name here, but basically she was a part of the feminist movement. And she was like, why do all of the dildos have to look like penises? So Duncan was like, you know what? You're right. So he started making phallic shapes that weren't just penises. Some look like fingers. Some look like just little, shapes that didn't necessarily have to have bulging veins, and a head on it. And so he really revolutionized the sex industry. And I was like, wow, a black man did that. He toured with that, babe. Did you know about this fact?
Absolutely the fuck not.
You did? As a strap queen, you didn't know about
As a fucking strapper.
You didn't know your history?
I did not know my history. And, today black men win for me today. You guys won today. Today you get a point into the scoreboard of liberation.
Shout out to Mr. Duncan.
Shout out to Mr. Duncan. That's actually really incredible that it was started by a black man, because he still wanted to kind of like have his sexual power and his sexual autonomy. And now the lesbians and the
he walked
bisexuals,
so you could run.
And the girls that be strapping whoever. We up.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Woo!
He toured with that.
You tore, my nigga, and you changed so many lives. And I think it's cool that, like, all of his inventions aren't just dicks. Like, you got the double edge one.
I don't know if he did that.
Well, he walked so the double edge one could come. You got the shit with the balls. You got the different colors.
Sparkly.
The sparkling. You got the 10-inch. You got the 8-inch. You got the 7-inch. You got the 6.5. You got the long and thin, the wide and thick. Mr. Duncan, you fucking ate with that one, man.
This is our history, and I wanted to uplift it.
This is gay history. This is queer history.
It's queer history. It's black history. This is feminist history.
It's disabled history.
It's disabled history, and it's so important to me, especially because there's been so much discourse online about who Black History Month is for and who it's not for. And I think it is just like, I can't believe that we've got to a point where we're arguing about which Black people can honor Black American history. Like, it's for Black people in America, period. We can celebrate that. I'm not going to not celebrate Mr. Duncan because he is from Caribbean heritage. He made this in America, and this helped with the American strap-ons. So this is a valuable part of American history.
He helped revolutionize sex.
Right.
Especially for same-sex couples and partners and people who are disabled or people who are into kink he just contributed so much to the future of sex.
He did.
And the future of pleasure and the future of play. So that's Afrofuturism right there.
I'm screaming.
Shout out to that nigga.
Not Afrofuturism. Oh, the woman's name was Dell Williams. That's who they linked up together and started to revolutionize. So shout out to Dell. I mean, this is Black history. She not Black, but shout out to Miss Dell.
I think it's worth looking more into and celebrating and incorporating that into one's, celebrations and joys around like Pride and, laying the D down.
That's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that as it relates to like Pride. I don't feel like people talk about Duncan. I mean, maybe because he was heterosexual, but regardless, his invention definitely revolutionized the possibilities around sex, or the expansion, I guess, around sex for women, or really all people. It's not, because more than women use straps. So a lot of people use straps.
The joy of going into a sex store, because I don't get my shit from Amazon. I don't order it online. The joy of being young and going into the sex store and being like, deciding, having options. He changed the game with that one.
He did.
Yeah. Shout out
to Mr. Gosnell Duncan. We hope you're well, and I know you got a place in heaven. Okay, so topic 2 today on Ogun's Internet. Well, I actually asked people if there was like questions that they have for us or questions that they have for you online, and I asked on Threads, I asked maybe on Twitter, I asked on Instagram, and people gave me questions literally everywhere. So I couldn't add all the questions here, but I did want to just ask some of the things that people said that they wanted to know.
Yeah, okay.
So someone asked, does Shan practice hoodoo too? And what's it like dating people who don't practice hoodoo or who do practice hoodoo? So for you, do you practice hoodoo? And then what is it like to date someone who is, I say a hoodoo practitioner, Orisha devotee? What's that like?
I do practice hoodoo in my own way. I'm not like a public practitioner, but I've incorporated the rituals and the traditions and kind of like that positionhood into my life, my personal life, as well as my art practice. So yeah, and dating. And what was the other question? Dating.
Like, what is it like dating me? Just the spiritual, not too much, just the spiritual part.
Actually, I want to say that being with you and sharing space with you and having a lens into your practice has been really incredible and like life-changing for me. I think that I've been able to learn tools from you and kind of see how I can apply those tools to my life or remix those tools or kind of, build a house or build a shed or just fix the nail into the wall. And so being with you spiritually has been great. We have a really great spiritual relationship. You've been able to kind of like lead me into my own spiritual lane, which has been really beautiful. And so it's been 10s across the board.
So you don't feel like stressed by it? I got a lot of questions about like, is it not stressful for you, but just like, are there like drawbacks that?
Yeah, it's stressful. Are you kidding me? Because sometimes I want to go to dinner and she's sitting at the altar.
Okay, but we can't go after.
We can go after, but sometimes I all that to say is like sometimes it is only stressful because you have such an elaborate practice.
That's a way to put it. It is elaborate.
It's very elaborate. It's very timely. It is very
It is.
It's very layered, and so it is a lot. And sometimes, I'm hearing noises. I'm my senses are being kind of like touched in ways that I didn't really quite ask for in that moment. Like sometimes the ringing of the bells, it wakes me up. So I have to really coexist with someone who has a very elaborate practice that sometimes is 5 minutes out of the day, or sometimes it's like 2 hours out of the day. And it's like sometimes I wake up and like, I'm chatty patty in the morning because I get up earlier than you so I can have some quiet time. And then you get up and I'm like, oh, she's up. I want to talk. And then it's like, hold on. And then I have to be quiet. I'm so excited to talk to you. And it's like, hold on, I have to, go to this place and have to do this kind of work. And sometimes you are available and sometimes that you're not. So it's a shift, but it works. We make it work.
We do. I feel like in some ways you absolutely like share me with spirits.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I share you with spirits. I share you with clients.
You do. It's like dating a pastor.
It is. And y'all niggas is the congregation. Like, it very much so is me sharing you with a lot of people. And that is oftentimes like you having your own space and you tending to people, but also it's very laborious. Like sometimes you come home or sometimes you come back to me and you're exhausted. And you don't really have the capacity for me. You don't really have the time for me. You can't really show up in a way that I need. You can't give me the attention that I'm asking for. And so I'm like the first lady, I guess. without the fucking nice suits and
Get some.
passenger princess in the Bentley
Get
coupe
some.
and the congregation that's paid for month-long trip running through the Caribbean. Where are the benefits of being a first lady? I want my nice little skirt suit with my stockings.
Okay, we need a mega church.
The hell? Like,
okay, right. The next question is, how did y'all meet? And someone else asked, does ATR or Hoodoo play? Everyone was asking about how the religion plays an aspect in our relationship, but someone asked how we met.
We met in like 2012 at a Pride in Baltimore. And
we're both from Baltimore.
Yeah, we're both from Baltimore. Different neighborhoods.
Very different neighborhoods.
Different upbringings.
Very different upbringings.
But still almost the same kind of accents. Let's just be clear. We met at a Pride in Baltimore 2012?
12 or 13.
And should I continue? Should I tell the real story?
Yeah.
Okay, and I was with a really close friend at the time, and
I was with my close friend at the time, too.
We were both with other people, and we both liked those other people.
Yeah, so Shan was with her bestie at the time, and I was with one of my besties at the time. And I was into Shan's bestie, and Shan was into my bestie. And that's how we met.
But I think it's the Baltimore way to be supportive of people from your city. So I would, from Instagram and the socials and stuff, I would see Juju had the podcast and the iHeartRadio stuff. She was living in Chicago. And so it was always like, oh, cool, like Ju, like she doing cool stuff. And she invited me. I was visiting Chicago and she needed some photographs for her merch. I photographed that merch, the hats and stuff that y'all I took those pictures.
She did. Before we were together. And my picture on Patreon with my cigar, Shan took that picture. If you're
right,
Patreon,
over. Yeah. And so it was just kind of like a thing of, there was some camaraderie there because we're from the same city.
Yeah, we rooted each other on for a long time.
Yeah.
Just on Instagram, we saw each other around. It was always love.
Yeah.
And then we just reconnected for real again, probably the pandemic.
Well, I saw her at an event. I was passing by, going to a party, and I saw her and was like, oh, shit.
She's back.
She's here.
She's back in Baltimore.
Okay. Because I didn't know you really at all. And you lived in different places. I lived in different places. Like, our worlds never really connected. We had no reason to be in the same room until the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so we started hanging out.
And we never left, child. Okay, next question. How do you balance holding each other accountable for your personal and spiritual work?
I think sometimes the spirits hold us accountable.
Say more.
Well, because I'm a dreamer and I like...
No, hold on. This nigga be dreaming.
It's exhausting. Like,
traveling, dreaming, ancestors coming. Like, she's seeing everything in the dreams.
Yeah.
Like, for real. This is giving prophetic dreamer. For sure.
It's a lot. I feel like the dreams be a lot even for you. Because I, like, be having like bodily like responses.
I feel like, so even to go back to the first question about like how do you handle dating someone who is a spiritual person in the ways that I am, I think that's similar to how I handle you because you're a dreamer. So you be waking up and I'm like, what's wrong? You're like, I was dreaming crazy. It's always like, even in the morning, like it's a thing sometimes because of how you be dreaming. Like, I just need I just did something crazy. Like you be having a whole other life that then sometimes I have to be cognizant of or tend to in the morning, and it was just because you was asleep.
Or at night.
Yeah.
And I disturb you with
all
at
night.
The sleep, the talking.
She talks in her sleep too. She laughing in her sleep. And I'm like, what is going on? And she wake up, she had a whole nother life. She had a whole nother world. She was like, oh yeah. I was like, you said this. She was like, oh yeah, because I was on the corner with this person hanging out. And then we went to this, and then I seen my grandmother, and then I was like, yeah, I heard you.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the question. You said the spirits hold us accountable.
Yeah, so I think the spirits hold us accountable because we have separate spiritual lives, and I think they just kind of like sometimes flow into each other, especially with like the dreaming. So like I had this one dream. My grandparents raised me, and my granddad, who's a Taurus, he loved money. And when I was younger, he used to give me change, and I used to go and like take a quarter or take a dime to get some snacks. And in my dream, not that long ago, he was like in my dream demanding me to give him money. Where's my money? You owe me money. And I'm in the dream like, Pop, I don't owe you any money. Like I don't have any money. Like, what are you talking about? And the entire dialogue for that dream, for however long it was you owe me money. And I woke up and I was like talking to you about it. And you was like, yeah, you need to get him some money. Like go and get him money. And I got him money and I offered him the money and I put it on the altar, and then that was really it. Like he received it. And so now it's become a thing where I oftentimes offer him money, and I try to offer every ancestor a very particular thing that I've experienced with them or that they know. And so I think oftentimes our spiritual lives just kind of, we have to be supportive of what each other is experiencing and thinking and feeling in our rituals and traditions. So I think we just have, I think it all just, it's separate, but they oftentimes just flow into each other.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
It kind of leads me to the last question I want to ask is, do you practice Ifa? And if you don't, how will you know when you're ready to practice?
I participate in Ifa, but I don't practice.
That's a good word. You do
Ifa.
participate.
I do participate very much so. And because I participate, I'm starting to prepare to be ready and figure out what I need to work on and what I need to work through to get to the place of actually practicing Ifa. But so much of what so much of the fabric of the religion and the Orishas and Osun and, like, I feel like it's finding its way into my life a lot more. Like we go through so many bottles of honey and I just never really ate honey. Like I never used honey. And so it's just certain parts of participating in Ifa really allowed me to have a glimpse into the religion and how the religion and going into the Ile and seeing how everyone also kind of engages and participates. And so it's just me trying to find my way into this religion, but coming soon.
Okay. You claim it publicly?
I'm claiming it. Coming soon. I'm talking about preparing.
Of course.
I'm preparing. It's just, it's a lot.
It is. Y'all, you heard it here first. We might have an Ifa baddie coming up very soon. We have a whole Ifa name and everything. Okay, period. So how do you feel like, because you said that, and I said, like, you're basically sharing me with spirits and people and clients and stuff. How do you feel like we address that in our relationship? Like, what do we do to navigate that?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I signed up for it and I have grace for it and I have space for it. And also too, it just comes down to, I also have my own life.
That's a good point. That's such a good point. I think a big part of why we work is because we have our own lives.
And they're very separate.
They're very separate. Like, we come together and we have a ball and we do our thing. But when I'm at work or doing my thing, I'm doing my thing. She has a life. She has a job. She has a whole art career. Like, you have your own friends. Like, I have my own friends. They come together. Of course, we share some friends, but we're not like up under each other all the time. Like, we live our lives. And we are up under each other, but not in a way of like,
not in a way
we're enmeshed.
And not in a way where we lose our identities.
Yeah, we're very clearly our own people who have decided and chosen to come together because it works.
Yes. So,
and it works.
That's a big part of it.
It
like
is.
I have my own life, and I also grew up as an only child, so I'm not entertaining myself.
Me too.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
We're only kids.
We're only kids. And so but also too, I'm also just very interested in that part of you. Like, I'm interested in the work that you do and how you serve and how you're of service. And so it's not like a thing where I'm like ever upset or I feel so separate that that's her thing. It's our thing. It's just a thing that you do. But we have date night.
Yeah.
We be cackling in this bitch. This nigga's funny.
Yeah,
I'm funnier.
You're
but
not
you're
funny.
I'm.
No shade. You're actually not funny.
Oh my god.
But you are funny. I will give you that. You're very close second. And we be laughing. Stay on focus. We be laughing. We be having fun. We
travel.
We travel together. Someone asked about that too.
We travel together, and also we travel alone.
And we travel alone.
Like I think the fabric of that and the core of that is that we really do have very separate lives.
Yeah. And that it's I feel like this is maybe one of the first relationships, not for you, I know, but for me, where I didn't feel like I had to be because sometimes in relationships you feel like you have to do everything together, you have to be everywhere, like you have to. And in this relationship, it's nice that there is like space. It's like we don't have to do anything. We're together because we want to be, because we're choosing to be, and we have fun together. But we also choose to do things on our own, and like we always return to each other. There's something that you quoted one time that you told me that someone said. Was it
Angela Bassett?
What Angela Bassett said about her husband?
She was like, yeah, like, you know, I accept him for who he is, all his little quirks, all his little things, and I want him to go out into the world and then return to me and tell me all about it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
That's how
go out, have fun, have a great time, explore, be who you want to be, discover, and come back and tell a nigga about it.
Yeah.
And I want that. So I think that we tend to attempt and try to work through extending to each other what we want to receive, and ultimately it is being our own person and having our own identities, and you know, things change, people change, what we want change and shift, and if we can just find the space to give each other grace to do that, then I think it's a recipe for a very delicious meal.
Period. Okay. Let's take a break, y'all, and we will be right back. So, A Little Juju podcast is a labor of love, but it is labor nonetheless. The time, the energy, staff meetings, okay, the lunches, all of that. It costs time and money. And I know we are on our last episode, but that doesn't mean that things aren't still moving and costing things. Also, that means I have to prepare for a new season, which means more production support. So, if you love A Little Juju podcast, if you tell your friends about it, if you tell your homies about it, first of all, I appreciate you. And that is such a huge way that you give to me, the show, through your words of affirmation, your 5-star reviews, your YouTube comments, your comments everywhere. I thank you so much. However, also, and if you have a little bit of extra change in your purse, I'm going to ask you to open that up. Would a man rob God? Not today. So for $7 a month, you can support A Little Juju podcast. That is the way to give to the podcast specifically. $7 a month. That is a New York coffee with oat milk, a little latte. $7. That's it. A month. What's that times 12? What's 7 times 12? 2 times 7. What's 7 times 12? Someone help me. Oh my God. It's 4 people in this.
84.
No. That's $84 a year. Now, if you have a little bit more than $84 a year, you can join my other tiers. I got the Juju Babe tier, the Juju tier, the Bad Bitch Witch tier. There, if you're like, no, Juju, I'm like trying to see more than the podcast. I want divination classes. I want to do the workshops. I want to get discounts. I want to know when the readings are. That is how you will get all of the extra perks on my other tiers. So I just have to say big shout out. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. I met a patron last night when I went out. I was like, hi, how you doing? She's like, hi. I just want to let you know you signed my book. I was like, oh my God, I appreciate you. She was like, I'm also a patron. I said, give me a hug. Get in my bosom, baby. So I love my patrons so much. Thank y'all so much for exchanging, giving, investing in the energy of prosperity and abundance. I'm sending that energy back to you as you give it to me. May all of your dreams come true. May you have the resources. May you have the wealth. May you have the money to do all the things in your life that you want to do, that you may succeed as well. So thank y'all. And I know the season's over, but I'm gonna still be on the Patreon, so I'll see y'all over there if you miss me.
Can I say something?
Sure, babe.
She really loves Patreon.
I do. I love my Patreon.
You do, and you be in here, like you be at work trying to figure out how to always offer them the best. And it's really cool to see. So I just want y'all to know y'all are getting the best. And she's exhausting thought, and she's thinking thoroughly, and she's always looking to just offer you something that you can carry with you in life. And you can be your best self.
Come on now. Thank you for helping me try and get some coins. Give my baby this money, child, so she don't ask me for nothing else.
It's worth it. It's worth it because I see how much work you put in, and it's really admirable.
You actually do, because you wrote what you I'm like, I got something for the Patreon. I got class for the Patreon. We doing we watching the film screen.
Yeah. I'm like, what you doing? Patreon. Oh, I'm about to go. You want something? Hold on. I'm about to finish up Patreon. Like, Patreon this, Patreon that.
I'll be with the patrons now. I'm locked in with my patrons. So I'll see y'all on patreon.com/JujuBae. Okay, so our next segment today is cod liver oil. This is our segment where we talk about the healing tips, whether it's Pilates or cod liver oil. There's always something that we can incorporate in our lives to make us feel a little better. So I'm going to give the cod liver oil over today to Shan. What is your cod liver oil tip for the people?
So I often try to engage in the joys of ancestors that I remember or that I once participated in. So one of them is I tend to play the music and dance to the music that I know that certain ancestors loved. Like my grandmother loved Michael Jackson, You Rock My World. And sometimes I do the little dance that he does when he's like walking down the steps. He has the he tore that shit up, but I try to do that, and she used to make me do it when I was a child. And so I still do it just as a way to honor her and her love for that song and our love and bond for that song. And then my granddad, he would play B.B. King, The Thrill Is Gone. And so oftentimes when I'm on the train, I'll play it, I'll cue it up. When I walk into my studio and I want to invite them there, I cue it up. It's just a way to just participate in their joy. It's a way to offer them space to join me wherever I am, to be in spirit with me. Sometimes I hear the song and I'm like, oh, that's you. And so it's been really healing because I'm able to just remember them and honor them and really find my way to them, and with hopes that they find their way to me. So I think that it's becoming a more reciprocal kind of expression of joy and care. And so that's one. And then another thing is I try to cook the things that my grandmother used to cook, or if I'm out and I'm going to a restaurant, I always try to offer, well, I'm going to this place. Like I was in the south of France. I'm going to the south of France. I'm going to be here for a while. The things that you want to taste, just taste them through me. The things that you want to experience, just experience them through me. And so I'm just always just trying to offer my ancestors an experience that we share together, or an experience that they didn't have, they didn't share, because they did everything to make sure that I could be in these places. And I want to invite them to these places because I think that they are just as deserving as me to be in these spots.
That's so sweet. I feel like that's healing for them too. Like, even, a lot of times when we talk about healing, and even with this segment, sometimes I'm talking about things that like literally this person can do in this moment to do a thing. But like, you really just uplifted like what people can do to heal, like backwards in time almost. Like you can heal your ancestors, you can show them things they didn't experience. And like we kind of talk about that, but like I really appreciate you bringing that into like the healing segment, because it's more than just your own personal feelings. It's also the healing of people who maybe and probably or did not literally have the access or resources or time or space even to feel much of anything besides work and or stress and or hardship. You know, of course they had their joys, but to know that they can still enjoy that through you, that's so beautiful, of the like backwards and like not being linear around the healing. I appreciate that.
It also, but I feel like that this has been a it's been a response to grief. Trying to remember them and trying to feel them and trying to work through the grief of them no longer being here and the relationship changing and the physicality changing. And it also is healing the inner child. Like, I love doing that little dance down the steps that he did for my grandmother and for my family. And so I still do it because it's something that I enjoyed and it's something that I know that she enjoyed. So it really is, it's like all of that came because of grief.
Yeah.
And I feel like in grief, for me, grief is like my oldest friend. And it always comes, and it comes unexpected. Sometime on the train, sometime at dinner, sometime when I'm brushing my teeth. And I invite grief in because I know that I don't have to lose myself when I'm grieving. Instead, I can participate and I can acknowledge these feelings and the state of emotions and find things that help grief feel a little bit better. And a lot of that is eating the food and eating the dishes that were once made for me. That is dancing to You Rock My World or tapping my finger and tapping my feet to BB King. And so it's been healing, but again, it started because of grief.
Yeah, and I mean, people always and often talk about healing, the importance of healing, but it's like that means that we're healing from something. You know, we're not just talking about healing. That means that there was some type of problem or pain point that we must heal from. That means that there's a wound there. That healing always comes from a wound being present. And it kind of, talking about this is something that we've talked about before, of course, but someone had asked me before, like, what if I don't know my ancestors, or what if I don't have a relationship to my family, or what if I'm adopted? Like, how would you offer that? Because you said that you were, okay, kind of discussing this, but you being someone who was adopted, and whose idea of family is very expansive and different than a lot of people's, through your adoption and through a lot of other things that you've experienced. So how has that been for you in healing and also really building an ancestral relationship when your relationship to your ancestors is tricky in a lot of aspects? It's very tricky. It's a tricky story.
It's a tricky story, tricky situation.
So obviously, of course, whatever you're comfortable talking about, but like, what has that been like for you?
I want to say, one, being adopted in Black families, it could go so many ways. It can be really dramatic and traumatic, and it can have just so much dramatics behind it. And so one, I feel like that was already kind of like a chip on my shoulder. And I knew the older I got that I wanted to get rid of that chip. And a lot of that was defining what family meant for me and being expansive around how I identify people to be family, like friends, neighbors. I think it allowed me space to really step back and really claim what family could be for me. Also, too, being adopted, so I had 2 dads and 2 moms, and my dad just died, so I have no more living parents. And
like on your adopted side and your bio side, they're all passed.
Yeah. And it's so interesting. Baltimore's so small. I feel like I feel like that anyone who is adopted and who is trying to tap into or find their way into knowing more about their ancestors, you just really gotta be open. You really gotta be open to all possibilities. And I say that because I didn't know my biological mom well. I had one memory of her, but I know who she is from everybody else. And just walking in Baltimore, being at the grocery store and someone saying, oh, you're Tracy's daughter. I'm such and such. I'm such and such. When I was in school, this guy came to the school, it was like professional development, but I don't think he was an actual professional, but that's another story. He came to my school and he was talking to my class and he looked me in my face and he knew who my mother was. And it's just like I had to be able to be open to be able to receive those kinds of messages. And so I think that I tend to believe that if your ancestors who you do not know, but who know you, if they know that your heart is open, if they know that you're willing and you're seeking that information and you're really looking to find something, it will come to you. But you really have to be open. And so the benefits of it is that I got a lot of niggas to pull from.
Yeah, you got extra ancestors.
I got extra ancestors, and I'm not even talking about the dead homies. I'm talking about like the people who were a part of my bloodline. Like my family goes back to Lynchburg, Virginia, and it is an elaborate big family. And I'm seeing pictures. I'm looking at the census. I am reading articles. I am looking through the Afro archive and finding articles and information about my family. And the thing that I really take from it, which is why I take the whole kind of inviting them in very seriously, because I realize that so much of my family has suffered. And the reason why I want to heal and the reason why I do these things and I try to find ways to bring them in and be in conversation with them, and I dedicate so much of my work to them, is because I know that they suffered. Yeah. And I want to feel better and I want them to feel better.
And they can feel better.
And they can feel better because when they are feeling better, I am better.
Right. We're so connected to them more than we think we are. And a lot of the things that they've suffered, a lot of the things that we suffered through as individuals are actually repeated sufferings of like the people behind us.
I agree.
And we actually get to address that. Like, it doesn't just have to be, well, everybody, this is the thing about like generational curses that people like to throw around. And, I wasn't always a fan of that term, but I think the point of it is that we often are dealing with the same shit over and over and over again, that it is a generational curse, but we can interrupt it at any point that we decide. I also want to add, like, you being adopted, and people, when I'm in readings and stuff, like people who are adopted or people who just have expansive relationships around family, it really is double portion. Like, it does show up as a blessing. Like, even people who didn't know their bio side, people, I'd be like, your biological ancestors are coming through. Also, your adopted ancestors are, like, you are surrounded by niggas. Like, people who choose you can also be a part of your lineage. It is not simply just relegated to blood. Like, it is who chooses you. I had a reading with this one girl. I was describing this person. She was like, I have nobody in my family like that, but it sounds like you're describing my babysitter when I was younger. And I'm like, you're in an ancestral reading. Why your babysitter here though?
Yeah.
Because that was your family.
Yeah.
Like, she was with you all the time. She was her neighbor too and her babysitter. So I'm like, well, this lady is talking about you and missing you, and she's not your blood family, but I called on your ancestors and this is who came. Yeah. To give you advice and to say they love you. Yeah. So like, I always want to encourage people who are like, I don't know my family, I'm not cool with my family. It's like, you have your idea of who your family is, and then there's like all the other people.
So yeah, I think I just want to end off with really empowering people who are adopted and who are distant from their family to just be open. And these are some things that I think that could work. One is maybe work with a genealogist. If you have just a name and state, if you have a birthday, that would really help. Looking at local archives, newspapers, especially because we are from Maryland, we can check the Afro-American newspaper archive.
And even the Afro archives, even if you're not from Maryland or your people aren't from Maryland, because the Afro covered
everywhere
if you was Black in America.
Yeah.
I'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah. Also, what was the other thing? Oh, if you know the region, the state, the city, the town, going to maybe their local library or maybe going to any local library, because some libraries do offer ancestry resources. You might have to use it on site, but they do offer resources, and also the library archives. And just finding space to use institutions for benefit, but also maybe finding eldership in your community or even in that neighborhood. Like, it's not a hard thing to do, but it really, sometimes the answer is just there. You just got to get there. And the last thing is, I'm a big believer in Facebook being the yellow pages, but also Facebook being a holder of a lot of family archives, baby pictures, names. My aunt had a secret family reunion group that she invited me to that I didn't know anything about. And I'm looking and I'm seeing these people who I do not know, but like, everyone's posting pictures and saying like, this is such and such, this is such and such, or we're on vacation, or we're here. And so
Facebook is the tool, especially
Facebook.
of the elders, because a lot of, like, I know my parents and even my, well, God rest her soul, my Aunt Myrtle, who passed away, she was on Facebook. Like, the elders are on Facebook, which means that information is on Facebook. As annoying and frustrating and overstimulating as Facebook is, it does have a lot of research if you're willing to just type in it, because that first and last, people still got their first and last names there.
Yeah. And people put their real names on Facebook.
They do.
And Facebook sometimes can operate, and so most social medias, I guess, but they often operate as search engines.
Yeah, they do.
Particular names.
Yeah.
And also too, I was thinking about Webster, like how Webster has been digitizing his father's and grandfather's photographs dating back to maybe like the 40s or 50s. So it's like, if you know local photographers who might be no longer here, but their children has their work, or a museum has their work, like there are just ways and steps that you can take that can really, you know, just kind of push you along this long journey.
It is, and it's a journey that doesn't end. Like,
It doesn't
you'll
end.
never find everything. Don't feel like you're at the stopping point. Like, I had a reading with somebody yesterday, and she was like, you know, I'm from Chicago, and I know my ancestors are from Mississippi, and I've been doing so much ancestral research, and like I've hit a wall, blah blah blah. And it came up in the reading. I was like, well, you need to go to Mississippi. She was like, well, I've never been. I said, well, girl, you need to go.
Yeah.
I was like, you're hitting the wall because you actually need to go where your people are from.
You need to be on that land.
You can only do but so much from Chicago. You can look online, but you have to go to that town.
Mhm.
You have to go to that county. You have to go. You from a small town in Mississippi. Like, you have to go. You will learn from being around people who probably share the last name as you.
Yeah.
And she was just like, oh, I just never thought to go there. And I was like, baby, that's literally where it'll take you. So sometimes you have to put your feet on the ground of where your people are and where they are from.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of ancestors are calling a lot of people back to what that home was, whether it's Mississippi or Trinidad. Like, you have to put your feet on that land and feel the things that your ancestors felt in that environment that they felt it. That opens up a lot of portals too. But if you're like, I don't know where my people was from, put y'all,
do some road tripping, go some places,
ask them to talk to you in a dream.
And last thing too, you have to be really emotionally prepared for this, because it is very traumatic.
It can be.
It can be very traumatic, and you can discover things, horrific things that happen to family members.
That's also true.
You know, like, you can find so many of the family secrets. Like, you really have to be prepared to be able to digest and comprehend what your family went through and what you have inherited.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Get it done.
That was a great tip, babe. Thank you for that card, liver oil. Okay, so our final segment's here. Can you believe it? We got through this episode. You were all nervous. How you feel now?
I feel good. I feel like we chopping it up, but we keeping it cute and PG.
We open with strap-ons. Okay, our final segment today is Dear Juju.
Shout out to that nigga, Mr. Duncan.
Mr. Duncan. Dear Juju, where you write in your listener letters, and I may answer them live on the show. This will be our last listener letter for A Little Juju Podcast Season 4. Okay, babe, I'm excited to read this one to you. Okay, so Dear Juju, Me, 21, I guess that's the age, you baby child. Me, 21, and my best friend, 20, have been close for about 5 years at this point. I care about them and I know they care about me too. However, my feelings are romantic towards them. My best friend has a girlfriend they are happy with, and the last thing I want to do is complicate their dynamic. So I've been doing my best to fall out of love with them. But it's hard for me to let go of these feelings I have. I'm trying to separate my feelings of friendship and romance and ground myself in reality and not delusion, to no avail. I've tried praying, meditation, keeping myself busy, but nothing seems to get them off my mind. I wanted to know if there are any spiritual solutions or remedies to help me fall out of love with this person while keeping friendship I value intact, and tips on how to call new love into your life. Signed, I know you're tired of these love questions. Thank you so much. I know you're tired of these love questions. I'm actually not at all tired of love questions.
She's a lover.
I am a lover. I also love messy. I love complicated situations. Because why not? It's what life's about. So, first of all, I think what you're describing is honest and real. And sometimes it happens. Like, no shade. Like, you're a human being and there's people in the world that are going to tickle your fancy and that you're attracted to. This is also like your best friend. So I'm sure there is a level of like intimacy and closeness. And even though I think people have delineated like, okay, this is friend, this is best friend, we don't have those romantic feelings towards each other. I think just as a human being, sometimes that can get murky. And like, I don't think that you have to feel bad about it that you're doing something wrong. Like, this is someone you care about and you love, and you're like, wait a minute, I could maybe love them a little bit more than the love I got.
Yeah.
That's like okay to me. But I do understand how it can get complicated because your friend is also in a relationship and has a girlfriend and you don't want to mix that up. So if you feel like your attraction to them is causing some strangeness in the dynamic, I think that's another conversation. And maybe you have to just take a little bit space or figure out like, what is this sparking? Is it alone? Are you feeling this way because you're lonely? Do you genuinely like them? Are you healing from a breakup and that's the first person, that you're seeing? Is your friend flirting with you? Does your friend like you back? Is there something moves that they've low-key been setting? So maybe this isn't one-sided. Maybe there's some little stuff going on that y'all doing that's, you know what I'm saying? So you have to get clear on all of what's happening so that it's not murky. And then from whatever you receive from that, then you have to make a choice. Maybe a little bit of space.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think you should tell your friend that you like them. Well, okay. I don't know if I think that, but what do you think?
I think that the entire friendship should be assessed.
Yes.
I think that you should really step back and think about if this person has flirted with you, or this person created a certain kind of dynamic that you walked into. Did they open the door for a certain kind of dynamic?
Sure, yeah.
You walked into it. So I would assess the relationship and then figure out like what the boundaries are, and then decide if you're going to cross those boundaries or those boundaries will be a little bit more flexible.
So why do you feel like they should tell their friend this?
Because life is short and you want to tell people how you feel. Now, I'm not saying like just openly be like, I don't know. I think with a little coof, like, yeah, sure. But I think that you should explain to your friend
I get that.
what you're, like, I think that it should be like a very sensitive and gentle approach to this conversation. And you sit your friend down and you use I statements and you say, I'm feeling this, I'm experiencing this, I have this going on. And I am not saying this to interfere with anything you have going on. But if we have the friendship that we have,
sure,
we have the relationship that we have, we're besties, I should be able to say these things to you. And also, too, I like you, I love you because I think that you're great. And it's not to disregard your partner or be disrespectful. Keep it super respectful.
Yeah, I think there's a way to say that to your best friend and be like, I kind of feel like I've been catching little bit more feelings.
Right.
Or been seeing you, kind of being attracted to you.
Exactly. I don't think you should just sit next to her, you know, on the train or the bus and be like, baby, I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think there's a way. But also, what do I say all the time about relationships?
Ju says, she said something like, don't let your girlfriend stop you from finding your wife. Some shit like that.
I say, don't let your girlfriend stop you from your wife. Don't let your boyfriend stop you from your husband. Don't let your partner stop you from your husband. Whatever it is, like, don't let that shit get in the way. And I mean that. And I know I've said that on Twitter one time, and people was like, bad take, L take. What's wrong with women now? And I was like, it's not about that, but I say all the time, I was in a relationship with somebody who was being unfaithful and talking to somebody else. And I'm telling you, while we were together, we broke up. They got with that person immediately after we broke up. These people are married. They have 2 kids. They're very happy. We still have mutual friends. They're doing well. They have a home. Like, they're vibing. I'm not saying that. I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but like from what I see and from what, you know, our mutual friends are like, oh yeah, they cool. Like, they on their next baby. Like, they found a stable home. I was in their way, even though that was my partner. And I'm not talking about cheating or being dishonest, but at the same time, even though I don't even talk to that person anymore, but I can recognize that that was their person. And unfortunately, they found their person while they were with me.
And sometimes
now they could have broken up with me. I did the break. They could have. Yes, there's things to say about the communication. I'm not promoting cheating, but I am promoting, don't let nobody get in the way of your destiny. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
No shade.
Yeah.
No shade.
I mean, sometimes you got to get through.
Stuff happens.
Shit happens.
It do.
That's why I'm saying, like, if you feel called to say this to your friend, that could possibly be your partner. That could possibly be your person.
Yeah, but I don't want to jump into you. This person is trying to, they ask how they can stop thinking these things. So I don't even want to put in your head that that's your person. It could not be.
It could not. It could not
It
be.
very well probably isn't.
See both sides.
Yes, but
look both ways before you cross the street.
Sure. Like, don't do too much, but I just want to tell you that it is very natural to feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Y'all are friends.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I don't have any necessarily spiritual tips. I think honesty is a good spiritual tip too. Be honest with yourself about how this happened. And then potentially, you know, be honest with the partner. Or
write
with
it
your
in
friend.
a diary.
Write it out first.
Down. Write
journal
down, you know. If you got a MacBook you got an iPhone or a phone, you could record yourself saying it. Like, get it out. Find a way to flush it out privately, and maybe that will kind of ease up some tension and maybe ease up what you're feeling. I don't know about not thinking about them. I mean, maybe.
Well, I think also too, like, maybe you also need to go on dates. Like, go out. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You like one person, that means you can like 2 and 3 and 4. There's so many people out in the world. Date.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're 21.
Baby, you should be. When I was 21.
I was dragging through the city.
Baby. This coochie was. Never mind. I was outside for sure when I was 21. I didn't mean to.
Cause that's hey man, you know who did it too? No.
Who? What?
On TV?
No. You just.
Man, you know what?
You was letting it slip up in here. Who does that too?
Who used to?
What you mean? Who used to?
Somebody used to know.
What you mean? Somebody you
know someone that I used to
know. Actually, cut out my coochie.
And 21-year-old me would have been like, I would have said it.
Sure.
This is 30-something-year-old Shan talking way more informed, being like, 21?
Your hormones are everywhere.
Sadly, 21, I probably would have tried to fucking disrupt the household.
Honestly, you at 21, you were a menace at 21.
I was a menace.
So you absolutely would have been like, you would have just tried to crack slick and see what's up.
Yeah, I probably would have fought the bitch. Like, it just would have gotten crazy.
Yeah, you were at 21.
Babe, you're 21. Lighten up.
Yeah, that's true too. It's okay. You're gonna like a lot of people.
You're gonna like a lot of people. It's okay.
Hang in there. This is just the beginning of a long road of relationships.
No, dead ass.
And intimacy and connection and love.
You're 21.
Enjoy it. It's fun.
That's a really important factor.
And your frontal lobe isn't even developed all the way.
It's not developed, babe. You haven't even touched the surface of what could come. This is your one little friend.
Your hippocampus is
great.
Soft.
I'm sure they're great. You like them, but there are going to be so many more people that you like and you fall in love with. You're going to fall in love. You're going to fall out of love. You're going to have situationships. You're going to be hurt. You're going to feel great. You're going to have a whole spectrum of feelings and emotions and relationships. Buckle the fuck up and put the thinking cap on. Remember that from elementary school? Did you not? Did you not?
Put your thinking cap on? Yeah.
Just little. And then some kids would like turn and make little noise like. Is this thing on?
Yes, babe.
Put the thinking cap on.
Put the thinking cap on. It's okay. No pressure, and don't let nobody get in the way of your future.
That part.
But L take. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of a Little Juju podcast. We did this thing. How you feel? You good? That wasn't that bad.
It wasn't bad. It just, I gotta talk on camera. I be talking to you.
Right. We were talking.
No, it was great. It was cool. It was wholesome.
Would you do it again?
I would do it again. Honestly, I should probably be like a seasoned guest, like every season.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in this season again. I appreciate y'all so much. If you want to keep up with me, of course, you know where to find me on Instagram at ITSJUJBAE, as well as A Little Juju Podcast, just as it's spelled out on Instagram. I'm at Jujube on most other things. TikTok. Are we still on TikTok anymore?
No.
You can't say that you're still on Twitter. If you want to reach out to me, bring me to your school, do whatever, go to my website, jujube.com. Don't forget, we have Hoodoo class beginning in April. Use your code 8LJ for $50 off of Hoodoo with Juju course. Send it to your family, send it to your friends, send it to your nigga that owes you some money. He can pay you back by paying for this class for you. Send it to your mama, send it to your daddy, send it to your grandma, send it to your sneaky link. Tell them to invest in your spiritual growth. Tell them to invest in your Hoodoo knowledge and learning, okay? I don't take Klarna, but I promise you, we got this, y'all. Use your code ALJ. Was there anything else I want to say? Anything else you want to end with, Shan?
I hope y'all Negroes had a good Negro History Month. That's all I got.
We hope you had a good Negro History Month. Don't forget, the Book of Juju is out in stores every single place you want to find it. If it's not there, request it. Request it at your local library. Get the Book of Juju out in the world. As y'all know, I thought I was getting royalties and I haven't gotten them yet. So continue to support, and I will see y'all over on the Patreon. And until next season, be well. I appreciate y'all, and remember, all you need is a little juju. Bye, y'all. A Little Juju podcast is brought to you by SpectreVision Radio. Executive produced and hosted by me, Juju Bay. Producer and DP, Jenahye Johnson. Consulting producer, Janicia Francis. Audio visual editor, Oreoluwa Akinyode. Production support by Alex de Palma. And set design by Cowrie Studios and Juju Bay.
Perfect. Okay, cutting beacon.
You did it. Thank you. So good.